Alright, the reason I'm going to make this video is because I'm not going to say hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's make this fast. So Gigi and Miranda, stop talking because nobody wants to hear you. Guys, we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to answer 3B. 3B is super easy to answer. It's 4 parts. The first 2 parts are actually just pictures, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. But first, I'm going to show you the way mine looks, which is the one that you've seen before, which is this one. All right. The first question asks you to, it says the first program code segment must show how data has been stored in the list. All you're going to do is go to your program, and you're going to look at your list and where it is stored. In this case, the list is stored right here. That is just where you're setting your name of the variable to a list. Now, what I see, or what I've seen in a lot of y'all's projects, is that most of y'all do this. Everybody, look at the board. Because most of y'all end up doing something like this. Okay? You are, in the end, saying item 1, or a random item, or last item, or anything from the list itself, and you never actually create a variable for it. Most of y'all have this problem. It's a super easy fix. I'll go ahead and show you how to fix it. All you have to do first is create a variable. Name that variable. In this case, I'm going to make it something that describes what's in the list. What I see that's in the list is just letters. So I'm going to go ahead and, yes. So I'm just going to go ahead and call this letters. Press OK. And before I use the list, I'm just going to set the list to, or the name of the list to, the list, right? And then I'm just going to now, instead of saying an item random from a list, I'm just going to say an item random from letters. The reason I do this is because on question 3B3, I believe it does ask you to name the name of your list, all right? So it's a super easy fix for those of y'all who went ahead and didn't do this part. So I'm going to go back to the other one. And again, it's asking me, where did I store the data? Well, I'm storing it right here, wherever I set my variable to the list. So all I have to do is go ahead and take this, use my snipping tool, and just like I did right now, take a snip of where I'm storing the information. I'm going to Control-C to copy. Now, in the form that I gave you, again, you're going to have to put your first name, last name, the period, and it's going to ask you the first program code segment must show the data, how the data has been stored. You're just going to go ahead and click Done. This is going to tell me that you have already opened up a Word document, called it 3BI. Well, that's not an I, that's an exclamation. Yes, I know. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And you're going to paste.
Happy birthday.
Yes, it's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Guys, and you're going to paste the picture. That's all you're going to do. After you have pasted the picture, you're going to go back over here and click Done. All right. On 3B2, so that's it for 3BI. All right, it's super easy. You're just going to go ahead and copy and paste where you have stored the data. On 3BII, okay, you are going to copy and paste where you're using the data. So I can go back to my program. Am I using the data anywhere here? No, I'm not. I use mine in my block, so I go ahead and open it up. And I can see that I use the data right here, where I'm saying a random item from what to say, which again is the name of my list. Right here, what to say. So I'm using it in 3 separate spots. I'm using it here, I'm using it here, and I'm using it here. So all those 3 things, I'm going to go ahead and take my snipping tool again and copy. Go back to my Word document and paste those 3 things under 3BII. Take the second one, Control C to copy. Control V to paste. And finally, the last one right here. Guys, the reason I'm doing this is because on the AP exam, all you're going to do is copy and paste all these things to your final document that you're going to go ahead and turn in. So it's just so you can have everything ready just to copy and paste. All right, there you go. You have done the first two. All you have to do again is put done, and you're good with that. Only three more questions to go. The third question is super easy. All it's asking you to do is identify the name of the list being used in the response. So you're going to have to choose a list that you're going to use in the response. Even if you have more than one list, just choose one. And that's the one you're going to talk about. So I'm going to go over here. In my case, I only have one list. And the name of my list is what to say. So I'm going to go here and go ahead and put the name of the list in my response. Response is what to say. That's it. That's it. For 4, describe what the data contained in the list represents in your program. So, the data in my list, the data in my list represents, well, what does it represent? In my case, for some of y'all, it represents numbers, sayings, questions, answers, whatever it is it represents, right? For me, it represents what? Information about the shape being drawn, right? So that's all I'm going to put. Information about the shape being drawn. Okay. Finally, last one. Guys, this one probably will require you to come back to it because it might change throughout the different answers that you're going to give, or might change throughout the answering of the different questions that you're going to go over, right? You're going to explain how the selected list manages complexity in your program. This one is super important. There's 3 words that you need to remember: organization, selection, and expansion. Okay, well, what does it help you do? First of all, the list. Well, let's read the question first. Explains how the selected list manages complexity in your program. So, the list helps me manage complexity by doing what? Let's go with the first word, that's organizing, right? By organizing organizing the information of the different shapes and helping me. I'm using the second word that I went ahead and mentioned, that's selection. Helping me select at random different indexes. Let's go with different strings. Strings, again, is just text. Random different strings that describe the shape being drawn. Again, and then the final word, we can just fit it in there somewhere, right? Again, you're right now explaining how it manages the complexity being drawn, and then finally we're going to use the word expansion. This also allows me to easily expand the education tool. Let's call it a game. The education game. Expand the education game by simply adding more indexes to the list and also choosing those at random if I decided to add more possible shapes. Be careful because it's not the end of the question. Again, I'm just using those three words: organizing, selection, and expansion. All right, those three words. I'm going to be able to, if somehow you can fill in those three words into your response on how it helps manage the complexity, you should be good. But finally, it also says that you should, how it could not be written or how it would be written differently if you did not use the list, right? In this case, and this answer is going to kind of be the same for everybody. All right, so as long as you can word this in your own words, I think you'll be good. Dean, wake up, please. Dayan. Okay. If I did not use the list, I would have to have created a variable for each each response, and somehow made the sprite say those variables at random. All right, guys, it's okay that I go ahead and say, you know what, I don't know how it's going to be written differently. But guess what? I know that I wouldn't have been able to write it I know that I wouldn't have been able to so easily write it with the list, right? Because now using the list, I could easily just move things around, right? Without the list, guess what? I for sure would have had to have created variables for each item. But in which case, I don't know exactly how I would have written it differently. If you do know exactly how you would have written it differently, then go ahead and put that, right? But if you don't know, then that's fine. Just say somehow, right? Okay, this is just an example. That's it. You already have 1 through 5 done. The first 2 again being pictures. Make sure to save your work, and that's it. Any questions?
No.
Kylie?
Well, can they comment on YouTube?
Hey, tag my Instagram in the
Tag my
comment
Snap.
section below.
This is going to be due by this Friday. Yes, the 12th, 13th, 14th.
14, 15.
The 14th, yes.
Okay.
I have the gram.
What is it, Gigi? What is it?
Gigi on the gram. It's Gigi.
What is it?
Dot.
What is it? I bet you get a bunch of...
That's her spam. Hey.
I don't mind.
Only
At Ramon.
What is it?
Romel.
Is
At
it
Millie Miranda G.
Romel Martinez 21.
Add me.
At Millie Miranda G.
At Millie Miranda G. Okay.
No.
And then follow Sir on Feet Finder.
Okay.
Pickle Lover 2.0.
Anytime, anywhere.
Feet Lover 2020.
All right, bye, guys.